This is a video demonstrating the best practices of liquid de-icer sampling. Once the delivery driver has arrived on scene, he will hook up the delivery hose to offload his product. You will then take a specific gravity sample. All delivery trucks are equipped with a sampling port right off the pump for you to take your samples. At this point, you'll fill up your graduated cylinder with product as he's offloading. The scale on the hydrometer measures from 1.20 to 1.4. When placed in your liquid de-icer sample, it'll steady at a point, this one reading 1.265. As compared to water, when placed in placing the hydrometer, it sinks all the way to the bottom. If your hydrometer does this, reject the load immediately. Have them shut down. There are many different hydrometers, and maintenance sections will not necessarily have a consistent size or scale. However, they still meet industry standards. The hydrometer used to measure specific gravity of liquid de-icer must have a scale from 1.1 to 1.4. CDOT specific gravity specifications for cold temp liquid de-icer are approximately 1.25 to 1.30. After it's been determined the specific gravity meets CDOT specifications, the truck will begin offloading its product into our storage tanks. Once a third of the truck has been offloaded, the vendor will stop the pump and a sample will be collected. Once the sample is collected, the pump will be turned back on until 2/3 of the truck is offloaded. Once the sample is taken, the vendor begins pumping until 2/3 is offloaded. This time the vendor stops the pump, a sample is collected, filling the container to 2/3 of the volume. Now the pumping continues until the entire delivery is offloaded. A final sample is collected at this time. Be sure to fill the container to the rim. Additionally, each time a sample is taken, 1/3, 2/3, and final, the vendor is also taking a sample of his product as well for future reference. After the sampling is completed, take a dry paper towel, wiping off the rim of the bottle and the cap, making sure not to contaminate it. Securely place the lid on the bottle, tightening it as tight as possible to avoid leakage. Next, you're going to securely seal the lid to the bottle using several strips of packing tape or whatever tape that you have on hand. At this point, the sample is secured with tape and it's time for paperwork. All this can be obtained in the sample kit, which you get from your storeroom. Included in the kit is a label for the top of the jar, chain of custody form, and a checkoff list. It is important to properly fill out the chain of custody form, including name of collector, region, section, patrol, location, include the CDOT tracking number, the product information, including the bill of lading number, the lot number that is found on the bottle, the time and date, the specific gravity and temperature. On the back of the chain of custody form, it is important to note the signature boxes relinquished by vendor. This is the signature of the driver, including the date and the time, and received by the CDOT employee. After the form is signed, it is important to get a copy of the bill of lading, which the driver will provide. Thank you. It is important to attach the label that is included with your paperwork to the top of the bottle. Fill out the information on top, which includes sample lot, product, location, collected date, and collected time. The weather, we'll just say dry, temperature, 50 degrees, and my name, and the manufacturer. Also, be sure to sign the tape. Finally, the sampling is completed. The paperwork is done, the appropriate signatures are taken. The bill of lading is all placed back into the packaging. Place the paperwork and the sample in the 1 gallon bag, seal, and you're done. The sample is delivered to your region storeroom, where it is packaged and sent to the lab for testing.
Hi, my name is Lynn McEwen. I'm with CDOT's Division of Highway Maintenance Engineering Support. I oversee the de-icing testing program. I want to thank Brad for doing such a terrific job in showing how to collect a sample for the liquid de-icer products. He did a great job outlining each step that has to be followed for this procedure. And they're very simple process, but there are very specific steps that we have to follow in order to collect the sample. Once the sample is collected, you take it to the regional storeroom, and they've also been instructed not to take a sample unless all the paperwork and the forms have been documented and filled out correctly. Once packaged, they ship it to our third-party testing facility, where it's analyzed against our CDOT specifications. And there are specific specifications, industry standards, set up by the Pacific Northwest Snow Fighters, PNS, and there's measuring heavy metals, ammonia, phosphorus, copper, and there's quite a few parameters, corrosion rate, and also the percentage of the concentration of the mag chloride present in the sample. And if any parameter is out of spec, then we issue a price reduction against the vendor. All of this information can be found on the Winter Operations Program Protocol document. How to collect the liquid and granular samples are all in this document, and it can be found on the de-icer SharePoint site. So if you have any questions at all, look at this document or give me a call, Lynn McEwen, anytime you have any questions. I'll be happy to help you out. Thanks.